All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most fundamental ideas that shapes our entire world, the economic problem.
So, let's kick things off with a puzzle. I want you to picture a massive city, somewhere like Johannesburg, with millions and millions of people. Every single day, somehow, they all get food, water, electricity, a way to get to work, everything they need. So who's in charge? Who's the mastermind coordinating this colossal daily operation?
Well, here's the wild part. Nobody is. There's no single person, no central command center, no master planner making it all happen. And yet, the city keeps running. It doesn't collapse into chaos. So how on earth does a system this complex actually work? That's the core mystery we're going to unravel today.
And that puzzle leads us straight to what some economists like to call the daily economic miracle. It's our first big step in understanding how this all hangs together.
See, this isn't just random chaos. It's a kind of unconscious coordination. The millions of individual choices made by people buying things and people making things are all guided by this invisible system of markets and prices. As everybody just goes about their day trying to do what's best for themselves, they somehow, almost magically, end up meeting the needs of the whole community.
Now, to really get how that invisible system works, we've got to go back to square one. We need to understand the one core idea that underpins, all of economics. This constant tug of war between what we want and what we've actually got. It really all boils down to this fundamental tension. On one side, you've got us, humans. Our wants are, for all practical purposes, unlimited. Right? Once our basic needs are covered, we always want more, or better things. But on the other side, the resources we have to make all that stuff, labor, materials, time, those are definitely limited.
And this basic mismatch, this conflict, has a name: scarcity. It's the single most important fact of economic life, and it's unavoidable. There just isn't enough stuff to give everyone everything they could possibly want. And this is true for everybody, from the poorest person on the planet to the richest. I mean, even the wealthiest person in the world faces scarcity because their time is limited.
So because of this universal problem of scarcity, every single society, no matter what, has to figure out the answers to three huge questions. First, what are we going to produce? Should we build more houses or grow more food? Second, how are we going to produce it? Should we use a ton of manual labor or more advanced machines? And third, the big one, for whom are we making all this stuff? Who gets to enjoy it all at the end of the day?
Now, this massive societal problem of scarcity actually drills right down to the choices you and I make every single day. And when you look closely, it reveals the real cost of those choices.
Because we can't have everything, every single choice we make has a cost. And I'm not just talking about money. This is maybe one of the most important ideas in economics. It's called opportunity cost. Put simply, it's the value of the next best thing you had to give up to get what you wanted.
Here's a great way to think about it. If a ticket to a rugby game costs the same amount of money as 10 loaves of bread, then the real economic cost of going to that game isn't just the money. It's the 10 loaves of bread you had to sacrifice. That's the true cost.
Let's make it even more real. Let's say our friend Daniel spends R30 to go see a movie. An economist would say, hang on, the cost is way more than R30. If his second best choice was getting a hamburger and chips, then the opportunity cost of that movie is the hamburger he didn't get to eat. If his second best option was studying, the cost is the knowledge he didn't gain. It's what you gave up.
Okay, so we get it. Individuals make choices, and those choices have opportunity costs. But how do you scale that up? How do entire societies, entire countries organize themselves to make these kinds of choices on a massive scale?
Well, over time, societies have developed a few basic blueprints to answer those three big questions. You have your traditional system, where everything's decided by, tradition and custom. Then there's the command system, where a central authority, like a government, makes all the calls. And you have the market system, where it's all down to individuals and businesses. And then there's a mix.
But here's the key thing. In the real world, no economy is 100% one or the other. Every single functioning economy on the planet today is actually a mixed economy. They blend parts of the market with government rules and services. South Africa, for example, is what we call a mixed market economy. The market is huge, it's the main driver, but the government is also very involved.
And this brings us right back to our original mystery. How does a market economy, specifically, pull off that daily miracle of coordination? It's time to finally solve the puzzle.
The secret, the magic of the market, really comes down to this incredible dance between two key groups. First, you have households. That's all of us, acting as consumers, buying things, but also as owners of our own labor.
And second, you have firms. The businesses and organizations that actually produce all the goods and services we want.
And the way they interact creates this amazing, continuous loop. Think of it like a circle. It starts with us, households. We offer our labor and skills to firms. The firms then use our work to produce stuff, goods and services. Then we use the income we earn from our work to buy that very stuff. Our spending becomes the firm's revenue, which they then use to pay us for our labor. And the whole cycle just keeps on spinning.
This quote from the economists Samuelson and Nordhaus just nails it. They say a market economy is an elaborate mechanism for the unconscious coordination of people. It's not a place, it's a system. It's a communication device that coordinates millions of people without anyone being in charge, solving a problem so complex a supercomputer couldn't handle it. So here's the really crucial insight from that circular flow model. The total value of everything produced in the economy has to equal the total amount of money spent buying it, which in turn has to equal the total income that was earned from producing it. Production equals expenditure equals income. It's a perfect loop. So, after all this theory, what's the big takeaway for you? Well, it's this. You aren't just an observer of the economy. You are a critical, active part of this flow. So let's just quickly recap the big ideas. 1. Scarcity is a fact of life for everyone. 2. Because of that, every choice has an opportunity cost, what you gave up. 3. Markets solve this coordination problem using prices as signals. 4. This creates a circular flow of money and stuff. And 5. The whole thing is powered by two engines, households like you and firms. And that model isn't just an abstract diagram. It's a map of your actual life. Every time you buy a coffee, your spending becomes income for the barista, the shop owner, the coffee bean farmer. And every day you go to work, your labor helps create something that someone else will eventually buy. It shows that in this system, we are all deeply and inescapably connected to each other.
So this system is an incredible tool for organizing society. It works, but the source material leaves us with a much deeper, more challenging question. Drawing on ideas like Ubuntu, which is all about our shared humanity, it asks, is making a profit the only thing that matters? Should our goal just be more and more disposable wealth? Or should we also be prioritizing things like human dignity and the well-being of the whole community? That's a crucial question to think about. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.